Oh, the Bulldogs painted Bourbon Street maroon and white Saturday night and head into week 3 at the 500 mark. And the Mississippi State Bulldogs needed Saturday night's win over Tulane in the worst way. After losing to LSU on national TV, after Michael Hennig's 6 interceptions, after all the grumbling from the Bulldog Nation, last night was the proverbial shot in the arm. And the game got started in the best way possible. Columbus native Gabe O'Neill picked off Scott O'Neill just about a minute into the game and returned that pass for a touchdown. As for Michael Hennig, not as good of a start, a pick in the first quarter, but after that, Hennig was rock solid. 20 of 31 for 221 yards and a touchdown, leading Mississippi State to their first win of the season and the 10th win of the Sylvester Croom era. Bulldogs stay on the road this week when they travel to Auburn. More on the Tigers in just a minute. Missouri and Ole Miss kept the statisticians rather busy last night in Oxford. The two teams combined accounting for over 1,000 yards on 159 plays. Drew Powell covered the game and has more from Oxford. Thanks, Drew. The Alabama Crimson Tide impressive yesterday at Vanderbilt, even though the score might not necessarily reflect it. Bama 24-10 winners, but two of the biggest stats of the day. Redshirt freshman tailback Terry Grant, 173 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the Bama defense holding All-SEC wideout Earl Bennett to only 4 catches and 52 yards and 0 touchdowns. Now, the first big test for Coach Nick Saban and the Tide comes this Saturday when the 16th-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks come to town. And speaking of Arkansas, the Razorbacks, the only SEC team who had the week off, 7 of the 11 teams in action playing non-conference games, 5 of those, Mississippi State, LSU, Kentucky, Florida, and Tennessee, all winners on Saturday. Now, the big story of the night in the conference and in the country, 17th-ranked Auburn beaten at home in overtime by South Florida. The Bulls with their 3rd win over a big-name ranked opponent in 3 years, and the Spurrier dominance of Georgia continued. The Cox 16-12 winners between the hedges, and don't look now, but USC is back on top of the SEC, at least for right now. Speaking of USC being on top, the other USC still on top of the college football world, the Idle Trojans maintain their #1 spot in today's new AP poll. But LSU making a run. The Tigers now with 20 first-place votes, jumping up to 3rd, though, leaping over West Virginia and Florida. The Oklahoma Sooners, fresh off a 38-point pasting of Miami. And the Gators after the Gators at number 5, you have to go all the way down to 16 to find another SEC team. Arkansas holds that spot. And look at South Carolina. The Gamecocks jump all the way up to 17th. UT and UGA still in the poll, but barely at 22 and 23. Oh, I know there were points where a lot of us thought this time would never get here. Football season, high school, college, pro is finally in high gear. Opening weekend for the big boys and a heck of a way to start this off. Denver at Buffalo. We're going to fast forward all the way to the 4th quarter. 4th and 2, Jay Cutler. You don't see that very often. A quarterback sweep to the right. The Broncos get the first down. Clock ticking. They don't have any timeouts. 20 seconds left. Broncos, this on first down. Cutler finds Javon Walker just outside the 20-yard line. Now, they have time to get up there and spike the ball and run Jason Elam out there. But they're going to run Jason Elam out there right now. Look at this. Clock ticking. Only 5 seconds to go. Elam setting up. Clock's ticking. Clock's ticking. Still ticking. Do they get it off? Yeah, they get it off. Elam nails it. Denver wins 15-14, breaking the hearts of Bills fans once again. Pretty good one in Jacksonville today, too. David Garrard, the new starter for the Jags. He finds John Broussard in the end zone. Jacksonville up on top, 7-3 after that one. The Titans still trailing. Chris Brown, this kid had a monster day. The running back from Colorado, 176 yards for Chris Brown today. Titans on a roll here in the 2nd quarter. And then Vince Young, quarterback draw. We've seen that about 4 million times from him. Titans win today, 13-10. The start of the Joey Harrington era in Atlanta probably may not be a long one. Tavares Jackson, the flare to Adrian Peterson, the rookie from Oklahoma. He bobbles it, he catches it, and he's gone. Adrian Peterson, his first touchdown as a Minnesota Viking. 17-3 the score there as the Vikings take the lead. And then Harrington, he threw a bunch of picks in Miami and Detroit. And he's going to throw another one here for Atlanta. Another touchdown there for Minnesota. Vikes win 24-3. Carolina and Jake Delhomme, or Jake Delhomme if you want to pronounce it correctly, finds Drew Carter in the back of the end zone there at St. Louis. Carolina rolling in this one, but here comes Mark Bulger in the Rams, finds Torrey Holt for the touchdown. Rams tied back up at 7, but Carolina just way too much in this one. Delhomme and Steve Smith, we've heard this connection a few times. over the past couple of years. Steve Smith, one of the best receivers in the league. He proves it there. Carolina wins today by 11, 24-13. New England Patriots and the Jets up in the Meadowlands today. Ellis Hobbs takes it 8 yards deep in the end zone.
He can run fast.
Yeah,
wow.
he can run fast.
Amazing.
108 yards on the touchdown. The longest kick return in NFL history. This one a no-brainer today. Tom Brady, he finds Randy Moss. This team is going to be a monster, folks. New England, 38-14 winners at the Jets today. Now, an interesting end to this one. Washington and Miami at FedEx Field. Clinton Portis a long run here for the touchdown. Washington back on top 10-7. Then watch this. Final play of the game. Defensive coaches tell you on a Hail Mary what, Joey Barnes?
You knock the ball
Just
down.
knock the ball down. Miami does that here, but watch this. Antoine Randall L gets it and takes it to the one to end regulation. Heartbreak for Washington fans, but it didn't matter. Went to overtime, kicked the field goal. They win 16-13 in overtime.
Wow. Amazing finish. And I
stuff.
tell you what, in that Bills-Broncos games, that's time management if I've ever seen it.
That is time management, of course. I'm sure Broncos fans were screaming at Mike Shanahan.
I would have been too. All right. Thanks a lot, Derek.
You bet.